Fran?
Yeah, thank you.
Brian, but we really
Meeting is
didn't
back in
have a
order.
chance to ask any questions or discuss them, did we?
You need the timer.
Well, some of the ones that we could talk about if we wanted to are pretty much the ones maybe back up at the beginning of the list there, like the ones that the sheriff brought in and I think the ones that
Number
Rita
5.
brought in on the election equipment, she had indicated to me that she would be thinking about wanting that money more, maybe like in April, somewhere along that line.
Which one's that?
The election equipment.
Oh,
Rita put in
we'll
for
see
sheriff.
after,
She better get a wall
She
here.
doesn't want the money, I mean, we could approve it now, subject to being given the money in April, whatever the date is that she wants. She just
I
doesn't want the
wouldn't approve
money
it now.
right now.
I'll put it in
She
here.
doesn't, she wants to go through
I understand.
the current
So we
election
can
cycle with the equipment she has,
Right.
and then get the new stuff
Right.
to begin next year with the municipal election.
Right, she said that. But, so we would earmark it in our allocated funds, and we would know that was, now, I do
We
have,
can approve it, just like you said.
Would it be in
not
our
give her
best
the money
interest for
back.
So,
like water infrastructure,
we're
sewer
gonna-
infrastructure, just to set it blanket?
I thought we had figured
I
out
looked
a
at all
way
the
to do
amounts
that,
and
to make
set
it
a blanket.
COVID related, so we're
If it's
just gonna do that.
Water, sewer,
She
infrastructure,
says that
and
there's
all
other
of the
counties doing
documents
the same thing.
provided.
Oh, that's
A
what
blanket
my
number
last
of
And
49
understanding.
or
and
45.
my thought was, like I said earlier, that if we go ahead and do it,
That's a
and
lot.
if
And
the
then
feds say you
it'd be
can't
over the
do it, you have to
50,000
pay
mark.
the money back.
I think
We're no
40
worse
I think
off than if we
45 would be
went
sufficient
and
to
paid
get
it
them
out of our
started
own pocket
per
to
their
begin with.
request. And then if
Unless
they need
you
more
don't
money,
know.
they can go into the
Defines.
second one.
No, I'm totally with you. That's
Okay.
that's why I just wanted to make
Interest
sure.
and all kinds
I
of
mean, that
stuff
would be
added
my
to it.
comment, is to approve
Well,
any
I don't know
water and
for
sewer
sure where that
infrastructures for any of the
plays into the
towns,
picture,
villages,
because I don't know that that's
um,
I'm
clearly
fine with
defined.
approving it,
or
I'm fine.
cities.
The other one I have a
Blanket
question
number
about, and I'd like to
45,000 if
see
your
get going,
documentation
would be
is
that CAD
Turned in.
system for the
Okay.
sheriff, unless something's
I'm with you.
changed.
That way you
The
don't have to
main
roll
issue
over
with
like
that one,
all of these and even this
was
261
what part
for
the
put in
ETSP was
45.
gonna provide.
Figure it out.
And we still don't know
No, I'm with you.
Okay.
I
As
gotta
far
remember
as
that
I know.
though.
I wrote it down.
I think what the sheriff has listed on that 258,000, that's the total amount, isn't it? Do you know, Paul?
The other ones that I would issue today, I think the 4-year before H Foundation, they have all of their paperwork in order.
I
And-
believe
Sorry, my man, hold on.
that the way it was
You're
presented
fine.
at the
The
finance
4-year before
committee,
H Foundation.
that
I
the
would say
county's
look at
portion of that
well,
was
I have
gonna
all
be
the
like
report
40 or
documentation. I
50
think it's for full
$1,000,
cost with kids.
Yep.
ETSP was
The other one I
paying
would
the rest.
do is
So that one's
Sheriff
kind of
will be on
on
video.
hold.
the
So
sheriff.
that means that what the sheriff has here,
Won't be the
No, I
final
would do the
total.
video court and telehealth first.
What'd
Hold
you
off on
say
that one.
about, I caught two things, what'd you say about the Ford, or the 4-H thing, Jill?
No, see, no, I'm just kidding. I
Yes,
said,
yes.
I said one of the recommendations I would make is Porter Coy 4-H Foundation has their documentation in place with their financials and their request, and I think it would be very beneficial to award them the funds for the kids.
I like that,
They're asking for $18,600.
right. And the thing of it is, that's a large number of youth in our county, and
It
it
is.
pays their dues in 4-H.
It is, it's almost 500
Right,
kids for each year that are getting
if
serviced.
we wanna do that, we should probably do a separate motion for each one?
Yes, absolutely.
So I move that we do that one for their code 4-H.
Now, Brian had mentioned, doing resolutions.
Yeah, it has to be an resolution.
Okay. I didn't know if you had this.
I therefore resolve to approve.
Okay, so shall we?
She can probably put together the format for the
Sure.
resolution for us.
Could we go through them first, the ones that we're looking at, doing a
Well,
resolution on?
We already have a motion,
Okay.
so, do we have a second?
I'll second that one.
Roll call vote?
Alright, Ducat,
Yes.
Sure,
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Crow?
Yes.
Have we decided about the St. Mary Cemetery Association? Is that a qualified one or?
We're gonna hold off.
I would hold off on that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm down to number 6, the sheriff, the video court and telehealth.
What about number 3?
I think we should hold off on that one,
Why?
because I need further documentation on how it would relate to COVID and COVID-related mitigation in the future. Plus, county clerk also has stated that she doesn't need it right now at this time.
My thought was the way prices are rapidly escalating, if she could get the thing on order for delivery at a certain time and lock in a price, that might be a more effective way for her to operate on this, on something as large as this is. Maybe she can comment on that.
Yeah, and
To me, that's something that we ought to give consideration to.
That's, I mean, either way, that was my suggestion. I don't have a vote, so.
I mean, you heard it at the management committee when they talked about the fertilizer prices.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one example of the way costs are, going through the roof. It's 500,000, and, could easily transmit it to 750 if you wait too long.
Just a suggestion. I don't have a vote.
I mean,
It's completely up to you.
Well, I guess she's the one that can say that if we authorize the money now, and she can enter the order, maybe, I don't know that she has to pay for it right now, but if she can enter the order to lock in a price and specify a delivery date of, November of this year, or whenever she wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And if with supporting or non-supporting documentation that you've requested, it can also be rescinded.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that
Also be
she could provide to me.
There's a lot of manufacturers that like to have orders on hand, a little backlog is great for operating your business.
Agree, but my only fear was with this election equipment and what she has in there as of right now. Would she be able to pay it back if the ARPA rules and regulations come back and says no?
Well, the answer is no. We're all gonna have to be scrambling and figuring out where we're gonna get that money.
If we have to pay it back, we haven't lost anything.
No, but you have to purchase
Because
it.
if we don't do it at all, we're gonna have to pay the money out of our pocket as it is.
I understand that. I'm just,
And that's, to me, that's the argument in favor. I understand what Jill is asking for, but if that can't be done real clearly, and I believe from what I've been told by Brian, that the other counties are going ahead doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I just
So
wanna
if
get
there's
that clarification from Bree in writing.
If there's a risk there,
Mhm.
when you look through the paperwork on eligibility, on the first page, I think you read that and you'd say, well, it isn't eligible, but you go over about 3 or 4 pages and it talks about replacement of equipment, I forget whatever it was, but right there, that is, to me, interpreted that it is eligible. So which one applies?
So does anyone wanna make the motion?
Go ahead and vote.
you just did. Didn't we?
Well, I don't know if you wanna have Brian come back and answer some of the questions, that if we approve it right now, and can she place the order now and to lock in the price and specify a later delivery date? I think that's key to us going ahead and doing it right now. Otherwise, sure, we can wait another month or two, that's, she doesn't.
And like you said, the price will go up.
Well, that's what
Potentially.
my concern is, that if she can lock the price in now,
Yeah,
that's the
and that's the
benefit.
biggest concern in a lot of things today.
I get it from her.
And it's especially so with something that's as big as numbers.
So why we even have to work our back in to do it that way?
Well, I don't know if she can do that, I guess, that's the question I would have.
Well,
Now,
if she can't, that would nullify her vote.
Mm,
We can vote on something that can't be done, that'll be knocked out automatically, and it can't be done.
Yeah, but it just complicates things sometimes.
Well, he was gone, we decided to go ahead, that's all.
I just, with the board meeting so close, I mean, it's almost like telling her, okay, you can go ahead and get the order placed today. On Tuesday, it's when she'd have to wait, but I mean, it's that quick.
Hello, long time no see.
We missed you.
Yes. What's up?
Well, we're discussing your election equipment,
Right.
and one of the concerns that we have, I know that you have said that you don't want the money right now, that you would want it until later in the year, you wouldn't want the equipment to come until the end of the year. However, the question is, if we were to go ahead and approve your request today, are you able to order the equipment to lock in the price and specify a delivery date, say in November or something of that sort?
I would not be able to, and the reason for that is one of the vendors has what they call a game changer on the actual setup of the devices. It would cause the price to probably decrease quite a bit, which is nice, right? Because it would add a different piece of equipment, but take a printer that's necessary off of it. So it's something that they are not going to be certified on it until I think the second quarter of this year.
Okay, but I'm talking about they won't accept an order for that equipment? I'm not talking
No.
about ordering the equipment they have today.
Right, no, we wouldn't be able to do an order because, first of all, obviously, there needs to be an RFP. And that hasn't been done yet. This is just a ballpark figure of what I need for money-wise. So it's not something that I would order the equipment anytime soon.
I
If
guess,
that makes
I guess
sense.
our concern is the way prices are going up, so if there's a way to lock in current prices, is what I think that's the essence of what we're talking about.
I suppose the only way to lock in current prices would be to do an RFP now with equipment that is available now, and it's not the equipment that I would be buying.
So they haven't priced the new equipment.
I don't think that they can until it's certified, and it won't be certified until the second quarter.
Okay.
Could you
But
keep us up to date on that?
I
then?
don't
So-
think that the prices fluctuate that much on this equipment. Does that make sense? Like, they're not going to be price gouging this stuff, cause it's pretty much,
Well, I hope
Set.
you're right, because like I mentioned earlier, we looked at the management committee meeting and talked about fertilizer prices for the farmers.
well, those are all over the place all the time anyway, aren't they? I mean.
Not going up 3.5 times.
Right, but I think when we're talking about election equipment, I wanna say it's pretty, right, it's pretty standard on what they charge, and like the price for the devices that I currently use have been the same amount for like refurbished machines and everything like that, for the last 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it's going to fluctuate that much.
Okay, well,
And
I can talk to the vendor and ask, but,
that might not be a bad idea.
yeah, and I have no problem sending an email, but I don't think that, where it's going to cost is like the difference in the machinery that we need.
so my next question, could you, a week before every single one of these meetings, send an email off to the vendor to keep tabs on this? Because John wants to basically get you the most bang for your buck.
Sure,
Percent.
absolutely. I mean, we stay in touch with them all the time, talk to them
Is that correct,
several
John?
times
Am I
a
wrong?
month.
Well, I think there's by far and away a definite need. We need this equipment. We cannot exist without having elections, and in order to have elections, we need this equipment.
Right.
So, It's just a matter of how we're gonna pursue it, but yeah, I mean, if 500,000 would turn into 600 or 700, I would be concerned about that, and that's why I thought if there's a way to,
Lock
and
in.
maybe you can ask them, you know, in view of the way prices are going, is
Sure.
there a way we can lock something in, because this is what our intentions are.
Right, yeah, definitely, and I can actually find out as far as that certification of this one piece of the mechanism that gets added on to the devices, if they can give me a quote on them or anything like that.
I think that's far and away, because, I mean, we're ready to approve the thing,
Mhm.
not necessarily, you know, I mean, if the idea being, you could place an order now, lock in the price, that we don't have to necessarily pay for it until it's delivered, or however that's
Right.
handled, but, you know, delivery in November, or whenever it is you want it,
Sure.
then that's the direction I think that makes the most sense.
Sure.
So, okay, we'll just leave
Okay.
things the way they are here, but,
Right
you
on.
know, we'll be meeting again probably in 3 or 4 days, so.
You'll still be here.
You're not funny.
Are there any easy ones you can jump through in the next 6 minutes?
No,
Okay.
I don't wanna call them easy, but I still think, like, Jill and I already talked, number 6, the sheriff, and for the judges, the video court and telehealth,
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree with that, does anyone
they
make a
can make a
motion?
resolution.
I'll make a resolution to approve the request for,
You can do
Make a
Oh.
motion to adopt a resolution.
adopt a resolution from the sheriff and the judges and the courts to approve the video court and telehealth request.
it,
What,
but he'll still need bids.
No, he had,
He had bids.
We're okay with that bid?
yeah, it's under 30,000.
you're thinking, I
Area-wide.
think, about,
Area-wide gave him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just assumed stay with our vendor
right,
Okay,
that already services the county.
we're gonna be, okay, I just wanna make sure,
You don't have to put it out for bid, it's under 30,000.
and, okay, no, I just wanna make sure.
Gotcha.
I apologize, Donna, I just wanna
that's okay, no
cover
problem.
everything on this.
No problem.
Is there a second?
Charlie second.
Okay,
I did.
Didn't you?
he
You
said
did.
go
not.
ahead. Are you seconding, Charlie?
John's eligible.
I'll second it if Charlie's gonna follow.
It doesn't have to do with food, so Charlie's not gonna do it. Alright,
What's food
Ducat,
got to do with it?
Yes.
Crow,
Yes,
awful, sure,
Yes.
I'm not
Oh.
longer than that.
it has, sorry. Because he motioned to go eat lunch, he said that was the only one he was doing.
I'm gonna bring up right now, we're just shooting straight down this list, and we're doing it this way. The full body x-ray scanner,
I like that one. I think that could,
That's a lot of money.
I know, but I
but
also,
that's the best for the community, I believe, to, help out.
Which one
with
is it you're talking?
The x-ray scanner
number
Yeah,
9,
number 9.
I
for
also,
$136,698.
I also think that,
That's for when they check prisoners in.
Yeah, we have to check them, it scans everything in the whole body.
What about, are they gonna x-rays and anytime after that?
If they need to.
I think they do when they enter or leave the
Yeah.
jail facilities.
I think that has the potential to help with a great deal of liability
I
to
think
the
that's gonna help
county.
us out, like what happened previously, we won't have that
And if I
situation.
remember
That's
correctly,
why
he
I
has
said that,
stated in
because,
his
You know, it's
documentation
like
that it
maybe
also
once a
helps
week, everybody gets.
to
a-
identify
a
COVID
flu or
They
something.
can,
possible because it is
To
Takes your
temperature.
some policy.
temperature.
That's,
I think that'd be a policy set to, by the sheriff.
right, I'm
Uh,
just asking the question, it
I-
doesn't necessarily play into whether we're gonna approve it or not, I'm just interested to know if anybody knows how he's.
Cause I believe if somebody came into the courthouse that had suspicions with, I believe the sheriff could probably take them over there, do a scan on him, and he's clear to probably come back. If there was an individual. But that's a policy between the sheriff
Yeah,
and the
that
judge.
has to happen over there.
That's up to them,
When you come in the courthouse and go through the,
yeah, this is
apparatus
a
there,
full body scanner,
I
this
know, I
isn't.
understand, I understand.
That picks up.
Are you
guns and
making that motion?
If that's a, yes, if I can make the motion of the resolution.
Second.
No, you're okay, I'm also with you,
Alright, Ducat,
yes.
Alt,
Yes.
Sure,
Yes,
and Crow.
Yes.
This one isn't gonna be a short one, the one I'm gonna speak about next. And Donna, I apologize, rapid assembly is employee funding. What's everyone's thoughts on that?
I'd like to put that one on hold for further documentation
Okay, no,
And-
that sounds great,
and,
that's all you gotta
financials.
say.
And
Okay.
the same with the public defender one. We
Mhm.
had questions for them.
Mhm.
I will say, I'm sorry, Paul, addiction recovery services really interests me. That is a whole lot of money, and I'd really like to have the time to chew that one up.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree. Any of the essential worker pays we've already discussed. RV, they withdrew. Lori Lent's request, I would say.
We asked for
Won't make
more.
a decision on that today.
We
We
asked
need
for
more
more
information.
documentation.
Now, may I make a suggestion, after looking at the Clifton, Danforth, and Anarga requests for funds for any water or sewer infrastructure, I would suggest if the committee wanted to set a flat rate, say you're gonna give 45,000 for any request of sewer or water infrastructure for the first application. That might make it a whole lot easier than having all these villages and everybody else going, well, I wanted 260,000, well, I wanted 49,000, well, I wanted, cause so far we have, if you add up, in my eyes, both the Danvers are water related, so that's 70,000, and then you have 260,000 by Clifton, and then you have a Narga at 50,000, so.
And I think they're all really legitimate requests.
They are,
That
they
fit
are.
within the infrastructure.
But that would be my.
Right.
we're also asking them to give us more information.
We are, so
Right.
that's not something you have to say, I'm just putting my 2 cents in as to, think about perhaps just doing if they apply, if they qualify, they're gonna get this amount.
Right.
alright, I'm gonna go, right to the Eastern Illini Mutual Aid Fire Association for $350,000.
I like that one a lot.
I'm gonna make the resolution, the
Which one?
motion of the resolution for the Eastern Illini Mutual, the fire aid, the fire department, for all 21 fire departments.
I guess the question that I had about that though is that the amount of money that they're asking for is not well defined. They don't know that that's the exact cost, do they?
They do not know the exact cost, but
You can make a motion to do less.
Isn't that what the application is supposed to include, is their
no, it
plans
doesn't
or
say,
whatever?
because they could bring us back money.
Well, if
From
they're
underneath
approved, I would need some sort of business plan for them.
If they got to us exactly how much they needed by the next county board meeting,
Or project plan, I'm sorry.
would we be able to approve them?
They're talking about erecting a building, is that correct?
No, an
they've already-
existing
they're
building.
gonna, they're lucky enough, they found one that already has a building on it with 1 acre
Where is that?
in Crescent City. Central location between
Where's
all,
that in Crescent City?
I don't have the specifications.
I think it's on the south side of 24, and they mentioned Ailey's Body Shop or something
Oh, okay.
is right in there. It's,
Okay,
it used to be Bob Neal's building.
gotcha.
Is that the one that's right on the corner?
Mhm.
No.
No, no,
No, just east of the Casey's gas station, or west of Casey's.
yeah.
Yes, I think so, right
Ailey's.
next to. I think that has, I don't know how we can link
Well,
that
I
to
think
COVID.
of,
How can the fire department?
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
you link it to COVID?
he's listed several different
Oh,
ways, so I'm
Yes,
happy
he
with that.
did, yes, he
I'm
did.
happy with that. So if you take, even if you take the 350, it's gonna, be used by all 21 departments. That would be the equivalent to granting each department approximately $16,600.
And
Which
they-
is nothing.
Right, and they haven't asked for premium pay or any, we don't have a request from any fire department.
Not as of yet, no.
So,
Most of those fire departments are volunteers, so they wouldn't be eligible
Right, exactly, so that would be our way of helping them out, and
Plus, it is a huge benefit to the entire county,
When do you
not
expect
just
that for
one
the fiscal
area.
year? Exact average money spent.
Hmm?
I don't know, I'll have to go.
I
over
still
the
think it's
report
like
again.
3 days.
I mean, that's up to you, I'm not opposed to it, he has everything in order, and I think I need a financial from him, but I could get that at a later date.
I'm still gonna make the motion for resolution to give the, central, or the mutual aid fire association $350,000.
Second.
Dukenyak,
Yes.
Alt,
Yes.
Pro,
Yes,
sure,
I've really got to run out on you guys. I will just comment and you can carry on. Prairie View Lutheran Homes, I see the potential for us to do something there, but that needs a whole lot of chewing up.
It does.
And a whole lot of more information. Was there anything else? Oh, I said about addiction, recovery, we've established. Lori Lands, we've asked for,
I mean, for today, we have 4 that,
yeah.
have been passed, and I agree that some of the ones need to be dissected a little more,
I think we've done enough.
and I have questions that I need answered from others, so.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions that need to be answered.
No, I think, just let me say, it's been a pleasure. I think we did good work.
Yep, I
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Set a date. Well,
Okay,
Donna, it's probably gonna be in a couple weeks.
try for Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do it.
All right, so everyone agrees we're done discussing.
Not next Friday.
okay.
We're done discussing, review, and taking action on applications. All right, actually, I do wanna speak one more thing myself.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear
That's why I'm talking quiet.
you. I don't blame you, but I'm sorry.
What are we gonna need from somebody like that or something? Are we gonna figure out a number or something?
He said he can get me some stuff, so I'll take a look
Okay.
at what he sends me.
I don't wanna leave anybody out or think that they've just been shut off. St. Mary's Cemetery Association.
I will be in contact with all 30 applications that were received and reviewed over today.
Okay, and you're gonna explain to the sheriff about the CAD system, why
Mm-hmm.
you have questions, and I also have questions on who's gonna take care of the maintenance program
Mhm.
afterwards. Also, I'd like to see ETSB sign off on it also.
If we could,
Well, the questions will be resolved as to how much the TSB is paying and how much we're paying. Because, like I
That's-
said, the way it was presented at the finance committee was that DTSB was paying, a couple $100,000 and we were paying like 50.
Yeah, that's right, something.
And I'm still
So,
being pushy,
um,
gentlemen, but I just wanna make sure we come out of this
So
looking that we're doing
do
the
you
right
wanna
thing.
set a date before you close the meeting?
Yep.
Yes,
for the next one?
let me finish. The old business. Any new business? I would like to set a date for the next meeting.
21st is a Friday.
I got a club meeting that day.
I'm okay with
21st.
It's
Two
up
weeks
north.
from
Couple
day.
days,
Hmm?
So you're not gonna be available then?
Well, I can do it by Zoom, but it's, I believe it's in the morning, I have to double check.
So we'd have to have our afternoon meeting?
I have to double check what the exact time is, but
We can go to the following, we can go to the
those
28th.
are always, almost always in the morning, in fact, I remember now, yeah, it starts at 9:30.
Okay, so do you wanna do it on the 21st at whatever time, 1 o'clock?
If I do the Zoom meeting here, it'll be over with by 10:30, I would think.
Okay, so we can
So,
start at
maybe
11 if you
11
want.
o'clock and have lunch and then go back into it.
Something like that.
Because
We
it
could
seems
do
like
that.
this is gonna be a long time, so let's do January 21st at 11 a.m.
Okay,
The thing is, that anything that we do is, we're doing it for the February board meeting.
right,
So are we gonna do like the January 21st meeting, then are we gonna have another meeting before the February board meeting or not?
we could, or if you come to a decision.
If we're not, then we can actually do it closer to the February board meeting if there's a benefit in that.
Mhm.
you know,
I would rather go over
You
it
can make that
twice.
decision,
Might
yeah.
do it
Yeah.
on the 21st, and some of it we might wanna go to the next board meeting in February.
Especially how long this one was.
Right.
We have
No,
the
but I'm
option to
saying-
do one or the other, or.
no, what I'm saying, Charlie, is that
Just make a motion.
anything that we do
I will
after next Tuesday goes to the February board meeting for final approval.
Meeting.
So do we wanna meet on the 21st of January and
No,
have
just
another
a first and a
meeting
second.
between that date and the February board meeting? If not, maybe we, instead of having a meeting on January 21st, we might wanna wait and do it closer to the February board meeting.
Why don't we just say that during the January 21 meeting, if we wanna have another one before then?
Sounds good, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
I guess we can
Charlie?
do that.
Hey, Charlie.
I move we adjourn.
Okay.
Time I have my coat on.
Okay, so we're gonna
You
meet on the
second it, John?
21st with the understanding that we may or may not have another meeting before the.
Correct.
I think it would be beneficial on the 21st to, just add it to the rotation of committee meetings for the month.
In other words, having another meeting on the, like we did today, right after the highway committee meeting in February.
If you just wanna make it a standing, yeah.
Simply, well, because I'm thinking we're getting more applications in, or being clear, you know, whatever, that's what I'm thinking, waiting
Mm.
close to the meeting.
Yeah, whatever. I agree with
All
whatever.
right,
Have a
Did
good
you second it
weekend.
finally?
yeah.
All
I
in
know,
favor,
it's
say aye.
going pretty fast.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion
Aye.
passes.
Too late, we're just.
Why did you put me in
Did you?
charge of this
Yeah.
mess?
Was it an official
If I
meeting?
knew who the guy was that could do
Was it an
this.
official meeting?
I ain't doing